Hi guys, this is Breaker and I'm bringing you another cast between, well, it looks like this one's going to be Pulse Kane and EGDeMusliMRC. Not going to give away too much information, but I will say that according to the replay itself, it does last a bit of a long time. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an introduction to both players. In the upper right hand corner, by the way, this is Whirlwind. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's been integrated with a map pool for the ladder, so I'm just going to go ahead and cast this. In the upper right hand corner spawning is our red Zerg. Member of Pulse, it's none other than Kane. And of course, down here in the lower right hand corner, spawning as the Terran in the blue trunks, I give you none other than EGDeMusliMRC. And one thing that I must say that I love about StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm is it seems like it never runs out of music for us to listen to. I don't believe I've heard this song yet being played in the middle of a ladder game. Then tried to correct it and happened to go over Iraq's, but I guess this is some kind of a rematch or something of that nature. Maybe this isn't their first time meeting each other on the ladder. But hey, there's so many nice things, unless you're a Zerg player in my opinion, when you're playing StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. By the way, I'm not sure if this is Heart of the Swarm or Wings of Liberty, but I'm sure we're about to find out. There's no dead giveaway signs just yet, but let's just go ahead and see what we have Kane up to. Okay, sending out his first drone, and he's going for the double hatch expo. Very standard opening, yes. And the Muslim is actually going for gas along with the barracks that he's got right here. Wondering just how is this going to work out? What does he have in mind with this? Let's just wait and see. Overlord here. I like this position because once you think about it, it actually allows for him to spot anything that comes up this ramp. Drone comes in and he scouts the gas. Not sure if he clicked on the geyser or not to find out how much is going down, but considering we don't see a reactor just yet, I'm thinking we're going to see a factory go down somewhere. But wait. Hold on just a second. Some gas has just been spent somewhere. What is it? I'm a little confused. Ah! Okay, switched. He decided to throw out a Reaper. My bad. Gotta get used to all these differences between HOTS and Wings of Liberty. Another news today, I mean, I guess since we've got some fill-in time, there is MLG going down right now. I'm not too happy with that, but it doesn't matter anyway. And this is quite interesting. We actually see EGDeMuslim throwing down a bunker here, but it gets shut down shortly by this drone. Drone got the first strike in, so even if the SCV did rebel, it wouldn't have won that worker fight, if you will. Alright, so here we have the Reaper. It's going to move out over here, maybe get 1 or 2 drone kills, but there are lings being made. Nah, I'm thinking, nah, there's probably not going to be any worker kills here, but I could be wrong as, oh man, that was some smooth micro by Kane. Canceling the extract at the last second. The Reaper's going to come back over here. Is he going to get the drone kill? He is! But unfortunately, that Reaper hasn't paid for himself just yet. If I'm not mistaken, the price for one is 50-50. So I think just simply due to the fact that you have to pay for gas to get that Reaper out, I feel that 2 Reapers at that, you've really got to get a lot of drone kills, or at least get, if you can get a queen kill, then 1 Reaper or 2 Reapers will pay for themselves. And the lings are here. We do have metabolic boost in production. And we're just going to see how this pans out. Ooh, smooth micro by EGDeMuslim so far. I don't want to say Muslim alone because that in itself could just sound, I don't want to say racist, but maybe ethnocentrist, perhaps? It could sound offensive at the very least. Alright, well, let's see what we have going behind this. 2 more extractors being thrown down by Kane. I kind of like the fact that he threw one down here instead of right here. Like the Reapers, it's not assured that the Reapers are actually going to go in all the way and see this, but of course, it wouldn't hurt to see EGDeMuslim being willing to sacrifice both of them just to see it. But let's just see just what he knows about his opponent. Well, 1 gas in the main, and that's about it. Yeah. He just has the same information that he had when he sent the SCV in. That's it. There's a forward bunker here getting ready for some kind of return aggression from these lings. There is, of course, metabolic boost is ready now. It's finished. And we see a Roach Warren going down now for Kane. It's almost finished. Bunker is about done. And there's forward Widow Mine. I like this. If Kane isn't very careful here, he could actually lose all of these lings in one fell swoop. Oh, but that's actually kind of critical. That Widow Mine is getting started down. Oh, and it gets taken down. That is 25 gas that we won't be seeing the Muslim getting back. And these lings, it looks like they're not going to go home alive. No. Poor guys. But we do have 6 roaches in production now, so maybe we're going to see some kind of a very grim offensive from the Muslim, or excuse me, from Kane, excuse me. Yeah, this is a lot of roaches. 10 at this stage, that's not a safe number to be dealing with as a Terran. Especially with the units that we see here, they're easily taken down by roaches. Yep. Okay, and here we go. They just get chased off. They do, of course, outspeed, if you will, outrun roaches. Oh, but they are trying to do some return damage where they can, some kiting, if you will. The Muslim knows what's going on, and he's trying to react to it as appropriately as possible. He's got another bunker going down. He's got 2 Widow Mines in production. One just popped. And he has a bit of an okay read on where his opponent is. How's this being followed up? There's just nothing but roaches coming out, and now we have 17 out on the map. This is actually quite dangerous for the Muslim. He's pulling SCVs. And that appears to be all that's going on right now. We do have +1 almost finishing up, so that's really going to help him out. That means he can 2-shot workers, Marines outside of the bunker. But of course there's a Marauder, a Marine, and 1 Widow Mine right here. But where's the other one? I guess it got taken out. We do have an Overseer accompanying these roaches right now, so what we do see is kind of a, I want to say a soft-ish contain, because if I'm not mistaken, Zerg's just, they're not capable of hard contains, which basically means like throwing down spine crawlers, creep, spore crawlers, etc. And 1 roach is going forward. I guess his goal with that roach was to try and take down the Widow Mine, or at least try to kite it. What would be really super critical is if he could get the roach to actually get those Sentinel missiles to hit all the SCVs. Of course, the SCVs are losing mining time there, so if we just check the income right now, we see that Kane is ahead simply due to the fact that he managed to pull the Muslim off the mineral line. The Muslim still hasn't put a good deal of those SCVs back. He's sending the Hellions out, get a good read on his opponent. He sees, okay, well, this guy went back. Now I need to build a bunch of stuff that counters armored units from Zerg. And that is exactly what he's doing, but he's also continuing to crank out Marines. He's not gonna kind of boost himself with tanks, if you will, but he is cranking out a couple of medevacs. I think if he puts Widow Mines at a couple of those and a lot of Marines to boot, then it's, you know, it can be quite devastating, the amount of damage that we see. Here we go. Kane got his 3rd up in that time, so that's actually going to help his income quite a bit. Terran is still ahead slightly, but that is because, of course, Terran has mules. But one thing that I appreciate from this is that Kane did not go all in with that offensive. I think he could have won it, maybe. If not, he would have done some major damage, but let's not dwell on the past, shall we? Okay, so now we have a supply difference of about 30. Of course, that is 30 favored for Kane. What I will do with the next replay that I cast is definitely turn up the music, because it just sounds so epic to listen to, really. Alright, it looks like, yeah, this 3rd, it's in a heap of trouble. There's a few Marauders here, 5 of them. There are also some Mutas here, but that's, I mean, with that number of Marines, I just don't think this is safe to deal with. The one thing that we need the Muslim to pull right now is Banelings, and speak of the devil, they did just arrive. The Marauders are actually doing a good job of taking them down, but there's just not enough to deal with the Mutas here. And all of this, he did manage to kill a Queen. And a medevac picked up 4 Marauders and just got out. Ignited the burners, but... oh, the Mutas target that one down. Alright, so now we have an EGDeMuslim that is down 50 supply going up against a Zerg. Wow. That had a good deal of Mutas that just got blown away. If we just go to resources lost, it's actually been more. So I want to say that EGDeMuslim, he's in a critical position right now. He actually did a good job of, I want to say, dealing with these Mutas. But, of course, there are other things to consider, like the fact that he doesn't have his third just yet. He's getting it. And Kane right now really needs to boost his worker count, and speak of that, he is getting it now. Alright, so now might be an okay time to pick up these Widow Mines, maybe replace them a little more in a few more appropriate positions, if you will. Yes, Widow Mines, the new siege tanks, if you will. Let's just see how quickly an individual Mutalisk regenerates. Wow, that's actually quite fast. Alright, so I guess all the damage done by Widow Mines can actually be kind of properly negated with what we see. In terms of buffs for Zerg, if you will, but the supply difference is now 142, 117, and both players' supply counts are really starting to climb. Drilling Claws now in production, that's really going to help out with the Widow Mine burrow speed, and it just basically means if there are Lings getting us around on it, oh, this is bad. This is real bad. Oh no, this is really critical. All the Marines, or excuse me, all the Lings, all the Mutas just got into the main. What about the Banelings? They were kind of on hold position there for a second, and they make very poor connections there. They do manage to kill a handful of Marines, but that's about it. And we have a small Bioforce in the main kind of dealing with what's going on here. But I just don't think this is going to cut it. It will, actually. That gave him just enough time to actually pull his Marines from his third as natural and go into the main. Of course, this barracks is on fire, and it might just... No, it's not going to fall. And I like this. That poor Ling is not going to get out of there, I think. No, he just got taken down. Okay. So the Mutas are coming back around here, swinging into the natural soon-to-be. And they're going to get a few kills here. Let's just see where this goes. Ouch. You know, Kane, he managed to kill 10 workers already, 15. And a handful of Marines arrived, but that's it. I probably would have just stuck around there and done a little more damage in his shoes, waited for the Marines to get within close to shooting range. But of course, I'm not the pro Zerg on Team Pulse now, am I? Alright, so, this is actually not going to be good for Zerg. Oh, man, that is a good chunk of Lings taken out. And all of a sudden, we see EGDeMuslim Raid Calls supply has just climbed to that of an even stage with that of our Zerg player. And there's only 3 Banelings in all of this. If he can take those down, I don't know, maybe he would stand a chance. Yes, it looks like he will be able to hold this, maybe, but that was a nice Baneling connection. There's still one one Widow Mine that can be used in all of that. Alright, so SCV is being pulled off the natural. They're going to go to the third, it looks like. Maybe repair some of these units. No, they're just going to go straight to the third. The natural is actually getting close to mine dry. What about the main? Oh, that is just severely almost dry. Alright, so here we go. The Muta's coming in for another swoop on the natural. Meanwhile, we have the main Bioforce along with some Marauders moving out. And I don't think this is going too well for EGDeMuslim. He's actually kind of dwindling-ish on supply, especially in terms of workers, I would say. Ouch, that's 5 more worker kills that we saw the Mutas get, so let's check income. Zerg is so far ahead right now, it's not even funny. A Widow Mine caught a good chunk of those Mutas, so if we just see what is lost now for Kane, it's actually kind of a critical position, and this is a lot of Banelings in production right now. What you have to keep in mind is this is also a very good spread on the Widow Mines. Here we go. It looks like the Mutas managed to target down 1 or 2 Marauders. The question is just how many Banelings are we going to see made here? There's a scan. I don't think it caught onto the main army. And we're just waiting to see how this unfolds. Yeah, so what really caught my attention about this replay is it seemed like from the information that I had that it made it to basically the late game, so you guys are going to enjoy this one, trust me. Alright, here we go. Another scan, taking down the creep at the forward position, but oh my god, that is a lot of Lings and Banelings, but they're going to go in as one huge chunk right here, and that is another chunk. Oh my god! Yeah, but Kane caught on to just what was happening there at the last second. Yeah, he's like, wait a minute. Those Marines are trying to pull me into that. It was a trap. It would have been disastrous for Kane if he had actually moved into that. But at last we see the 4th base being put down for EGDeMuslim, so this is really going to help his income. +2 carapace, +3 attacks, and adrenal glands are now on the way. +3 just now finishing up for EGDeMuslim, so he's a little bit further ahead on those upgrades. Ultralisk Cavern is also in production right now. I think this is an okay choice. This is respectable, because those Ultras will indeed tank. But speaking of tank, that is not a good idea for these Mutas to be doing versus Widow Mines. Ouch. You know, that's a huge chunk of supply that he's just not going to get back. Medevacs do get cut out in the open and all of that. Thankfully, all the Marines are still at full health, so this is not too terribly critical, but mind you, it is a mistake nonetheless, and creep tumors are being shattered, and I think we see EGDeMuslim being confident enough to move out. Oh, and the Medevacs, they're being chased down by the Mutas again. There's a small bio chunk here that's going to get separated from the main force, and that is a beautiful split by EGDeMuslim. So now, here we go. We got basically 200-ish armies ready to go against each other. And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how this goes. Alright, both players just looking for the position. It looks like they found it. And I don't know just what to make of what is going down here. Jeez, man, that is just not pretty to look at for EGDeMuslim. Kane remaxing, we can see it's just not pretty at all. Widow Mines coming in, kind of dealing with some of these lings, but it's just not significant enough, I feel. 4 Widow Mines burrowed right here. But what is going to happen from here on out? That's what I want to know. Alright, there we go. A couple of Widow Mines get targeted down there. But now the supply difference is 142 to 185. And now we have Kane with a bunch of Ultralisks in the mix. And Banelings. Oh yeah, Banelings. You don't want to forget those. So the Mutas are kind of just darting forward here, and this is a completely bare and unprotected 4th base that we're going to see Kane harassing. He did kind of split his Mutas there. He was a little wary of Widow Mines. Now we have a bunch of orange and yellow health Marines going in there to try and mop up the job, but that's just, I don't think it's going to cut it. Widows are going to try and move back and forth between the 3rd and the main, kind of shuffle if you will, but oh, now he just loses a small chunk there. Not too terribly critical, but of course the damage in itself means a lot. Also, that also paves the way for Kane to kind of clear out some supply and make more and more Ultras. We see 3 more in production, 2 more joining his main force over here. And I'm wondering, is EGDeMuslim wary of the fact that his opponent has this kind of tech? I don't know, but here we go. And he just said, you know, Kane is kind of winning. He says, this is so much better than Wall. And he says, yeah, just as he's using the Igniter, the Afterburner, to kind of, ooh! Send a couple of rush medevacs out there, and this is kind of beautiful-ish splitting, but I don't think there's enough Marauders here. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. Is EGDeMuslim going to be able to hold this? We're going to have to wait and find out. Double medevac arrives here, but there's nothing to attack. Kind of a waste of time, but he also dropped his Marines on creep, which means his enemy has the ability to see him. All these orange and red health Marines and Marauders are on borrowed time, and they get surrounded and picked up at the last second. 1 hero Marine kind of down here, 1 HP. Let's see just how long he's got to live. Oh, and the Overseers are getting targeted down by these Widow Mines. Thankfully, they're both still alive. That's in favor of EGDeMuslim. Natural did just fall. What about the main? Is he going to get the Hive? That is really critical. If he can get the Hive and this Ultralisk Cavern, it would be just so much further in his favor. All of these Ultralisks just kind of lining up like, oh my god, I want some Marine blood. And there's another drop here. They do get put back down and taken back down-ish, if you will. But there's just so many bases here for Kane. I'm wondering just what tech was taken down, if anything. I don't think he got any tech out of this. There we go. Another drop down here at what appears to be, I want to say, the 4th base position. We have EGDeMuslim just kind of moving out saying, hey, it's kind of now or never. And there's another medevac drop getting ready to move out in this direction. But of course, it's moving out on creep. I don't know what good this is going to do for EGDeMuslim. It's just like, hey, look at what I'm doing. You know, maybe this is meant to pull his main force. This many Widow Mines burrowed. Ouch, and the Ultras are just kind of mopping everything up as they go. 4 Marauders, 4 Marines being cranked out at the same time. The question is it going to be enough? Oh my god. The Widow Mines burrow, but they get taken down before they can even fire off a single volley. Ouch, and all of those medevacs were caught in a fungal growth. This is the only medevac full of survivors. You know, and here's the drop in the main. It looks like we're gonna just have Kane just kind of power forward here, and there's another drop over here. This is basically arm twisting from a Terran, if you will. And it looks like, oh no, this is actually quite critical. We don't see Kane with the ability to produce any more Lings for the next 50 seconds. So if we can see EGDeMuslim kind of kite the main force, the Lings, into a sort of submission, if you will, then EGDeMuslim can come back and win this, I think. And the Marines kind of moving out, dealing with these overlords, supply blocking Kane actually. So when he actually does have those Widow Mines, or excuse me, when he does actually have the ability to make Zerglings again, he might be in trouble. He might be okay. I don't know. We have four more infestors in production. The spawning pool did just finish up, and this is just a non-stop back and forth, drop, 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 drop. Let's just see. You know, EGDeMuslim has actually gotten quite a few worker kills out of this. It looks like he has actually kind of changed his mind on doing a drop. I think he really should pick up this orbital command and put it down somewhere else. Maybe right here or right here, but we also have... No, we don't have a Ling on patrol over here, but we do have a Ling here that's going to pick up on an SCV that's moving out to build a... Excuse me. That's going to pick up on this command center floating to that position. Another drop in the main. This is just absolutely... I don't know what to call it, you know, this is one of those games, it's just like neck and neck, tooth and nail. I want to win this game more than you do between two monsters. One of them by the name of Kane from Pulse, and another one by the name of Evil Genius's EGDeMuslim. You know, I'm kind of sad to see Puma go. I mean, he had such an excellent run with EG. Well, in the beginning he did, but here we go. This is not... I don't think this is going to favor Kane all that much. There's a lot of Marauders here. They're doing a pretty okay job of kiting these Ultralisks, and more Marauders are catching up to the main force, the main composition. We have +3 Flyer Carapace on the way, but I don't see any Broodlords in production. I just don't know what good this is going to do. Widow Mines burrowed, actually doing a good job of wiping out the Ultralisks. And damn, we see EGDeMuslim just kind of pushing back like, hey, I'm not afraid of you anymore, bro. Oh, but this is a different story when you throw Lings and Infestors into the mix. Now, we do have EGDeMuslim with a higher supply count at present, but of course the one problem with this is it's all in production right now. I mean, we see 3 Marauders, 7 Marines in production. He did manage to waste a fungal growth there, and he's using his Marauders back here to kind of target down these Infestors. They do get a buff against armored units, which, hey, Infestors happen to be, but I just don't know what to make of where our current situation is. Income for both players is still painfully even at this stage in the game. We've got Marines kind of just catching up here. SCVs out in the open. They're forced to do this. They're forced to mine from patches that are damn nearly empty. And now everything from EGDeMuslim is getting cut out in the open. It looks like he's got one last little bio ball right here, just kind of waiting at the natural. And now this is where the game could come to an end from EGDeMuslim's own undoing. He actually is killing his own workers now with his Widow Mines unwittingly. That is actually not something, that is not productive use of Widow Mines, guys. Widow Mines OP. Give them a nerf. Here we go. EGDeMuslim just kind of trying to hold off as best he can. It's kind of working for the time being. He's got a couple of burrowed Widow Mines here, but he's just not able to use them, and a couple more in the natural. Kane catches onto it. He just pulls back what's left of his main force, and we just checked the income right now. It seems like EGDeMuslim is kind of in an okay position for now, considering he was able to replace everything at this 4th base over here, and it looks like he's actually ready to take his, I don't know what you would call it, 6th base, 7th base. We have more mutas in production. This is one of those games that I like to say is made in China, because Invictus Gaming's Shi Guo was a player that actually went to the GSL in Korea representing China. Oh, and these are some beautiful Widow Mines, may I just say. And basically his best style of play is typically with Ling, Baneling, and Mutalisk. Oh no, and this is actually not good for EGDeMuslim. This drop just kind of gets caught out in the open. And of course the main force is going to get pulled back and try and deal with it. And it looks like these drones got put on hotkeys by accident. They're like, hey, wait a minute, we were supposed to be Zerglings. What are you doing? And now the Ignite Afterburner button has been hit, but that's not going to stop a fungal growth from keeping them in place while the Mutas chase them down. You know, one thing I want to say, it's actually kind of difficult to use Mutalisks and Infestors at the same time because, well, for me, I typically put them on the same hotkey. But let's get a look and see just what EGDeMuslim has. Okay, he's got 3, 2. Okay, yeah, it's not that difficult to do if you can actually pull it off. But this is one of those things that very few Zergs do, and now the Widow Mines have been taken out in the center of the map, and I just want to say that presently things are not looking good for EGDeMuslim. He's actually got 40 less supply, and his opponent has much better ability to remax than he does. He's got Widow Mines here that are cut out in the open, and even if they did burrow, they just probably wouldn't do too much damage, but it looks like he's managed to hold his ground just a teensy bit more. And of course we have the oh so famous medevac drop going in again. It looks like this one's aimed at the upper left hand expansion. Fungal growth going down, beautiful fungal growth. It's actually going to be a stack. I don't think we're going to see anything go home alive here. No, sir. But this is also getting increasingly more critical. We have an orbital command here instead of a planetary fortress, but with this kind of wall of Zerg just moving at this location, I don't think it's going to matter anymore. It looks like we have EGDeMuslim just landing this by accident. You know, he's going to lose that if it just keeps up. But I guess he picked up and put it back down again. And the Lynx just kind of pulled back as we saw the medevac drop. Excellent maneuver. Not really maneuvering, I would say, but definitely some excellent planning by EGDeMuslim. He's like, yeah, once this medevac drop kicks in, my opponent's just going to pull those Lynx back and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, a couple of Marines will not be going home today from that medevac drop. And it looks like the Mutas came back here and they have a different take on that that orbital command, wow, comsat station. This is not Brood War, guys, sorry. Overseer's kind of getting pulled back here. Oh, and it looks like the drop is going back to the main. Excellent use of kiting medevacs by EGDeMuslim. You know, it's really buying him time. It's letting him do what he has to do, but at present, you know, with a 40 supply difference nearly, I don't see him being able to really hold the next major attack that comes his way. You know, Kane, he's just continuing to crank out more lings, but we're just gonna have to wait and see where this goes. Oh, but this is, I think, if this goes off and this works, I don't know, that's 4 medevacs we're going to see that are full of units that are going to move out and make a drop on the upper left-hand expansion here. But this is what's left of the main force from EGDeMuslim. Both Widow Mines did just get lit up, and another Widow Mine is about to, oh, that's a nice chunk of Lings they take down. And both player supplies are relatively even, but this will definitely take down the income for our Zerg player. Now it looks like EGDeMusliMRC has elected for a base trade scenario with Kane, sort of, if you will. But the question is just, how is this going to pan out? Right now we have Kane at actually a much lower supply, not much lower, but definitely a substantially lower supply than EGDeMuslim. EGDeMuslim's going to have to really move out and take down this base that his opponent has down here, and it looks like that is exactly what he's caught onto and is doing right now. But right now, the most critical part of his game, his infrastructure, is being torn apart right now. He's just got 1 Marauder in all of this, 2 now to defend at home, and he better do something about those Ultralisks. You know, it's just a question of time now. His income is substantially higher than that of Kane, so if he can actually build some barracks, if he can get some infrastructure going, if he can get some production going, then he's good to go. He's picking up these barracks and he's getting ready to land them. It's okay because he's got nearly nothing here in his main. He's got a few supply depots that are going to go down. They're going to cause him to get supply blocked, and now we see Kane basically, you know, he's on 0 income basically. I mean, once you account for all of these drones over here, this is like close to 6, no, that's actually 25 drones right there. and that's it. That is all we see for Kane in terms of income. Marauders kind of getting surrounded here. They're trying their best to kind of just save themselves. The question is, does EGDeMuslim know that he's in a good position right now? Baneling gets taken down. There's a bunker kind of just doing its best to hold its ground here. I think it would have been a wise decision to maybe throw another Ling run by at that base in the lower left. But here we go. Everything got taken down. He says, I think once mines are fixed, this will be a really good game. Fun game, good game, well played, man. Alright, so if you guys liked what you saw here, just go ahead and click on the follow button, excuse me, the subscribe button on the lower right hand corner of your screen. Not really corner, but yeah, the lower right hand position, if you will. And if you guys wouldn't mind, just, you know, drop me a comment, rate this. My specialty is catering to the Chinese and Taiwanese scene, but of course I do like to take a break every now and then, like I am now, and cast games like these in English. So yeah, this has been Breaker, guys. Just go ahead and help me out. All right.